Here's the thing, Andrew. Call me out if I'm wrong, because you always have like a level-headed than me. Because I felt like if I go crazy, or if you see it, that's what directors do. Like you see.
I see the crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to.
The what?
I said seeing the crazy. I said, yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, because I feel safe in front of you.
Thank you.
I feel with camera or without camera, like you're like, okay, let me see. I'm like, Feng Chao. Like you're like, oh, okay. Very good, Feng Chao. Very, very Feng Chao.
Got to get down to the meat and potatoes. Yeah.
Right. And you're like, just keep being Feng Chao. I'm like, because I felt like that level of trust, like you don't really have it with a lot of people.
Yeah, no, there's not a lot of people who are going to tell you exactly what they're thinking, because most of the time they're worried about getting their own stuff done, and they think, well, if I'm honest with this person, I mean, that's just the thing. The minute you can find that point in your life where you never have to lie about anything again, because as a child, you're going to have to lie here and there because you don't know how to articulate complicated feelings. So you say, I didn't take the cookie, because you can't say, yeah, I took the cookie from the cookie jar because I considered all of these things. You can't. You're a kid, so you lie. So you get to a point, though, you can't be doing that shit and be happy, you know? I think when you came to do comedy, you probably realized after the life that you had, different parts of your life, and then this is what you wanted to do, and it cost you things, cost you living in the country you grew up in. It costs you, family, love, family, right? It costs those things. Yep. That's the cost. That's the price.
Yep.
But you're a better person for it because you're completely honest. Because if you were somewhere else, you wouldn't be being honest. And it takes like an adult to be honest before you hurt the next person. So it's like, I left, I moved to Los Angeles, and I was in a relationship, but I didn't know how to tell the girl, listen, at the time I loved her. And it's like, listen, and it's just like, listen, well, I get this, but I got to go here because I'm not ever going to be great over here. I got to go over here. But yeah. I was even, it's hard. Listen, people, they're 80 years old, they still can't figure out how to say things. But now I just feel like I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to really ever lie about anything. And I can't even think like, hey, sorry, I got another call, if somebody's yapping too long. But I haven't done that in 3 years.
Yeah, that's very good. I think, that's artists, once again. I'm just, like a...
Hey, it's as a Miles Davis has a line. He says, "Man, it takes a long time to sound like yourself."
You know what?
What do you feel like you can't be honest about?
Nothing. Anything. Open book. Here, it is so funny. I went to the store. There was this photographer, this cute photographer, taking pictures, and she gave me an idea, just like, you're so interesting. What about an idea about just ask Feng Chao everything, or like Feng Chao knows answer, or like, I'm like, no, I do know. I don't. It's like I'm coming off such an asshole. I'm like, no, I know, yeah. No, I know all the answers. I know all of it, and then she's like, because she's just innocently just kind of like throwing out an idea there, and I'm just speaking my mind. I'm like, yeah, Andrew, that's me. Yeah. Oh, that's me. You know what I'm saying? It was so funny.
Yep.
To me to watch, and then I'm like, yeah, just more function.
Yeah, more answers.
I think really, like the last time we talked about it, when I said that, like, love, it's gonna win over everything. That's all there is.
Right.
It's all there is. Like, I did a little crowd work last night. It's like, okay, I'm gonna use this amount of time to really talk to you, like talk to the audience. I felt like it's just, even it's just one person, you take the time because you're in control. You have the microphone, like your voice control over. It can be like, I'm not afraid anymore, or I'm just, if you go in that way. And I felt like if you really connect with them, like I'm talking to you right now, what's your problem?
Right.
Your ex-boyfriend is a fucking asshole? Don't worry about him.
Right. People like to hear from strangers.
Also, if they have like
a confident stranger can change everything.
With a Chinese accent.
Do you know why? Sure. unless you opened with that bit about, your mom being a cunt, but then they might not trust you. But anyways, but what I was gonna say is shit, what were we talking about?
Confident voice, like they hear the
stranger.
confidence.
Yeah, confident stranger. A confident stranger could change everything. Confident stranger could walk up to you, say the right thing, and the next thing you know, you like finally opened that bed and breakfast you always wanted to open up, or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my dream, but somebody's just waiting for some dude to walk by and be like, real estate's good right now. Now's the time to open the bed and breakfast.
Yeah.
But maybe they wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. This is why people love celebrities, why people love politicians, certain politicians on both sides of everything, right? I mean, leaders, whatever, is because they only see certain parts. You know what I mean? You only see the parts. You see like the perfectly shaped message in person, and you're like, yes. But it's just like, think about the most amazing person, the guy that everybody loves, the girl that everybody thinks is amazing, but you got a problem with them and you're like, they're human. This person could be a huge jackass. It's like that exists,
Oh, early. Yes. You know what though? Can I tell you a story? One quick story. Like
take your
we're
time.
talking about like there's some like store employee, like the nicest guy turned out to be this bad person and scammed money from this really nice, kind kid, come off as an asshole. It's the real. I felt like if you want to be an asshole, just commit. Because commit to the funny, not to be an asshole. But if you're a kind of person, you try to be mean. You can't. I don't know. Not everybody can pull it off. Like you said, like everyone wants a voice, almost like a voice, but that voice has different.
Well, yeah, and if you don't say it fully, it comes off terrible. Like if you don't commit to a joke, it's just like, ugh, like it leaves everything like just sour. If you half commit to being a douche, it's just like, well, what's with this guy that's hot and cold? Like, yeah. I'd rather somebody, like, I don't mind. When I say I don't mind, like, I obviously have an issue, but like, if somebody is a known asshole, to me, that's like, there he is. We know he's an asshole. Like, well, what's like?
You're naked.
I feel so much better having identified the problem. But when somebody's, a sneak, and you're like, well, come on, like, where's the honor in that? This guy over here being like, complete douche, I can respect because he's out there shouting it, and that's how he feels. And then now I know what's going on, Yeah,
it's like I give him credit for being an asshole. You're showing
for being honest.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you right. Doesn't mean that's game over. Doesn't mean you get to like stop at being an asshole. But that's like being an overt as opposed to a covert. Being an overt asshole is one step closer to being a good person than being a sneaky douche. Fair enough?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's you broke down. Yeah, that's it. That's all there. Yeah. You broke down the whole thing. I felt like boom, boom. Yeah, I saw. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that really is because I felt like I come off standoff-ish. I just recently learned that word from people. Like,
okay, yeah. I would have thought you would have known that by now.
English as second language. Yeah, I'm a subtle guy.
Yeah, maybe you read your own Yelp review though, you know. But go ahead.
I just I felt like I come off like a standoff ish, and but I think I'm just being Feng Chao.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, so I think like, yeah. Well, okay. So maybe it's maybe if that curve of being honest, being a step towards being a quote unquote good person, right? Whatever that means. But a good person is after then honesty and being able to just say what you feel, and make it, what I mean, and getting all that out. Then realizing, okay, the next step to being happy maybe is realizing like how are those things I'm putting out affecting people, and then how much of that stuff I'm putting out is worth it. Like how much am I like, is it worth it to say all this to then make potentially, not even just potentially, but make somebody else like, not good. So then you're like, well, that's not what I'm trying to be. And that goes against the definition of like, being on, what you might have started in that, direction with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm listening. I'm just.
No, I know. I'm just like, and I mean, you didn't even have to answer that. It's a rhetorical, you know what I'm saying? I guess. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just recently I've been having trouble in the way that like not having trouble, like I'm just learning and practicing, like when people talk, like I almost like I almost want to give that person who I'm talking to another maybe 2 Mississippis just to see after if after the silence if there's another noise.
It's a good point. Yep. I
I feel
try and
like
do that.
I feel like
Try to. I'm not always good at it, but I try to. Just fucked up.
I just think it's good because I'm confident in myself to be like, hey, Andrew, what do you think of like I'm making a noise, and then you make your noise about whatever that noise is. Maybe Malibu, maybe California, maybe basketball, and but the thing is, I think I'm stronger and bigger by being confident to give you the time to talk, to make that noise. After you make that noise, I still give you another 3 seconds just to make sure that you express yourself about whatever you wanted to say.
Yeah.
I think that moment is a
undervalued.
Yes. I felt like I'm gonna yell really loud but quietly if an immigrant like me got it. Come on. I'm willing to translate this into Chinese to put in another episode for everybody because
Say it
I'm
in
a
Chinese
sucker
now.
for love. I'm here for everybody.
Say it in Chinese now.
我想做橘子梦的原因就是我想把中国人和美国人加在一起，都给帮忙了。Yeah, did it.
Nice.
Helping everybody, Chinese and American, and people from the world. That's it. I'm here.
Take a minute.
Mandarin Dream.
Take a pause. Yeah. I think your microphone's backwards still.
It's gonna be like an inside joke.
No, now it's backwards.
Backwards.
No, now it's backwards. No, you had it right the other way. Sorry. You just gotta tip it up. There you go, like that. No, the other way. It's like this. It's on the side. Remember, it's on the side. So you want to talk like to this part of it. Yeah, like
this
the front.
Is good?
No. See the front? You talk just to this. So like leave it like this. See how mine is? Now just turn it towards you. But make sure that this is
this.
low. No. See how mine is right now? This is how it is. So
Oh, okay.
the button should
I
just
got
be
it.
facing me, but then tip it. No.
got-
You had it. No, you got it the wrong way. You had it the other way. Like that. Yes, just like that. Now tip it towards me. Yep, right like that. That's how you do it.
Check.
So much better. Yeah, not too loud. You'll blow it out, but that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be the
I just
inside
want to
joke.
make sure you get your message out. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
This is great.
It's gonna be the inside joke that you're like Feng Chao. The microphone is always.
Yeah.
I'm like,
If ever you're just like going off a little too much, I'm just gonna tell you, hey man, straighten out your microphone a little bit. You know what I mean? Your microphone's backwards. That's what I'm gonna say. Your microphone's backwards. Instead of talking, you should be listening.
that's our secret code. I'm like, no, Andrew, no.
Yeah.
No, the microphone is fine. And then you just keep like, trust me.
Yeah. Microphone's back. Hey, please feel free to tell me too. My microphone is often backwards as well. You can ask my girl. I am a reformed loudmouth. You know?
It's so funny. Oh my God, I love it. It's so funny. You're like, yeah, that's good. Thank you for saying that my microphone is often like, yeah.
Me too. Oh yeah, nobody's innocent. No, we are all guilty of the same human tendencies. Unless you're an introvert.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's take a minute to talk about the introverts because this is how I feel about them. just as much as certain people can't pipe up, other people can't pipe down. Fair enough.
Wow.
So when people are all quiet and they look around at like loudmouths all the time, it's just like, you know what? I got the balls to talk, okay? Because I used to be the quiet kid, and then I piped up, and now I'm, it is what it is. We leveled out eventually, but yeah.
Yes.
So you gotta here and there, find the happy medium. Say what you need to say.
Yeah. Yep. Find the happy medium. That's it. That's it. I think it's the balance. Happy medium. That's really.
Is that an example of yin and yang? Are we bringing the cultures together?
It's always a wonderful, terrible time. Like,
come away from the microphone just a little bit further back. Yeah.
Okay.
Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
You're good. Right
yeah,
there.
it's always a wonderful, terrible time. I think it's
always a wonderful, terrible time. What a great. Where is that yours? Is that your line? That's a good one. It's always a wonderful, terrible time. Is that?
Can I be very honest on the thing in English?
Saying that. What?
Can I be? It's we're living it. Wonderful. It's always a good bad time. I felt like the line. It's Jeffrey's line.
Okay.
Like it's always because when
it's a wonderful, terrible time. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
If it's a wonderful time, it's good. It's wonderful, but it gets boring after a while. If it's a terrible time, it's still getting terrible. It's a terrible time. It just keep happening. But I felt like now it's like
Dickens. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It's Tale of Two Cities is a Charles Dickens novel, and the first line is it was the best of times. It was the worst of times, and it's because. Essentially, yeah.
It's always
some people are getting on, and some people are not. Always.
Yeah. Yeah. I just if you think about life that way, it's just really to me, it's like because wonderful, terrible time. It's just when people understand that. I've been doing like the past maybe couple episodes in Chinese. I've been telling the stories. Just you go in with the perspective of like any story. Chinese people, American people understand that the angle to go into any story. We understand, right? Like you gotta understand. If you don't understand. Because life is gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
That's it. It's
Yeah, it's just being realistic. It's not pessimistic or optimistic. It's like it's good to be optimistic, but like yeah, like realism is realism. You know what I mean?
I
The
know.
law
I
of the
think
jungle. It's just like that's just that doesn't mean you can't strive for a better jungle, but you got to like understand some things are just
and
uh,
also real really is sees real in this right now, especially right now. I think it's you're real, I'm real, and then people are like, okay, they're real. That's it. Like lately, it just I'm an old fashioned guy. I think I like to know people. I guess like I
is
I
that
have
old fashioned yet? Knowing people, is that old fashioned yet?
yeah, no, in the old fashioned way to know people. I think because I felt like I think I told you the story, kind of like the noise about like I grew up with my uncle. He always teach me. He always says this. He's always like, if you want anybody's trust them the way that you want them trust you first. Give it to them first. Don't don't just don't say like, oh, Andrew, I want you to trust me this amount. Don't say that. Show them first. I think I just uh, coming like growing up, I always have that, and then lately, I've been talking to friends from grade school, middle school, high school,
Nice.
college. I just remember like
Are
I
you getting nostalgic for the old days?
always,
Yeah, I mean
always,
always.
yes,
Yeah, yeah.
because I felt like those old days made us who we are. Because
Yeah, I
those
think
moments,
yeah. Yeah.
you, like we're talking about introverts, we're talking about us in school. It's like the picture that you showed me. It's like it's like if you don't show me, you are always gonna remember that picture because it's like it's part of us. I want to say a little PTSD from it, maybe not accurate, but it's like
Yeah, no, I mean it's what it's reality. That's what it was. That was my reality. You know what I mean?
yes, because you can't run away from it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not at
Like,
all. No, would never. No, no, never.
yeah,
Well, I think before going, I know I would just want to agree with you. What you're saying about the like the nostalgia and the stuff that makes you right. Um, that yeah, it's just like that's like DNA. That's like the
yeah,
blueprint. That's what it is.
yeah.
And
I
then
grew up being
and
like,
then oh no, this is what I was gonna say because when you said about like trying to be funny, being funny is one of those things that if at a very young age you find yourself wanting to be funny, it's a very vulnerable thing for two reasons. One, you don't even really know how. There's a difference between being silly and being funny because kids can be silly, you know what I mean, and be goofy and all that. But to be like funny, to say it like in an adult way, right? And like because there's like a there's an intelligence that comes with humor, right? It's like
yep,
understanding it. Like there's an intelligence that comes with music. You
yep,
understand it, and
yep,
so there's this. I think that there's this point where you get to late teens, 20s, maybe even early. I don't know, like 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up where you pursuing comedy, me pursuing comedy, like that stuff is like you're trying not to let down that kid who was like, yeah, of course I can be funny and I can do this and I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, yeah, like you got to prove that kid right. You know what I mean? So like the whole process now, that's why you're nostalgic because it's like I think there's a respect for the way you looked at things. You're like, thank God, whatever it was, the consciousness level, whatever it was, whatever like thank God that like that I was able to at in first grade think that Beverly Hills Cop was the funniest thing I'd ever seen, even though it was edited for television and on VHS. You know what I mean? It's just
mm-hmm.
like you know what I mean? It's just like you're going to have something that's very special to you. And then that's, that's what's informing. And that's what I think you're nostalgic for is like, it's like a proud sense. You're proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud. I mean, just me. I think I thank Beijing for that. Because we talked about this coming from like Beijing. It's just no big deal, everybody. But it's where the emperor lives. No big deal, everybody. That's just where the Communist Party is. No big deal. Oh, we don't like compliments, but no big deal. Beijing, no big deal. But it's the best.
Now, why is it the best?
So what?
Why is it the best?
Because it's Beijing.
Okay. So you're basically like you sound like a Lakers fan. Like
Yeah. Beijing Ducks. That's our basketball team. I'm a Duck fan.
Nice.
Yeah,
so let me ask you a question. What is the difference between Beijing and pick another city? Well, I'm not gonna say Hong Kong because I already know that that's more of a loaded question. But like, give me what's another major city in China? What's the next?
Shanghai. Shanghai is a major city.
Shanghai. Okay, so Shanghai. What's the difference?
I know. I have a couple. Off the top.
Yeah,
I know a couple.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
The very first one is really just because of Beijing. It's the capital. I'm plugging Beijing right now.
Holy
Yes,
Christ!
Beijing
You
nurse.
sound like, dude. You sound like you were born and bred in New York City. Only you're replacing it. That's it. It's the greatest city in the world just because. Not
because
just
of New York City.
No, I'm not saying just
what do I
because.
need to
Both
tell
cities, I'm sure, yeah, I can't say I'm sure. I've been to New York. It's magical in its own sense, right? But I'm not, So yeah, okay. So number one, so it's
Sure.
the best. It's just because it's the best. That's number one. That's sure.
That's
I
ignorant
asked for
to
reasons,
the top.
but emotions are good too.
Yeah, it's like I don't even care what you think. It's still the best.
Okay. All right, keep it going. Number two.
Number two, the emperor lived there. From all those dynasties, all the emperor is there. All those spoiled brats, emperor having all the wives and what do you think? Think about what does emperor do? That's it. Think about your needy boyfriend with a shitty attitude, but he's got a lot of power. Impossible to deal with.
I don't have a shitty boyfriend. I have no emperor to deal with. So this is why you like this. So that's a good thing because the emperor lives there. But what does that do for you?
That city taught me pride.
I understand. I'm just giving you a hard time about living near the emperor.
Only if I can live closer and nearer to the emperor.
Oh, okay. So that's the goal.
No, that's not the goal.
No, but it'd be nice.
The goal is I'm the new emperor.
So you want to run China. I'm going to ask that again. Let's get back to do you want to run China? But let's go back to number three. Because so far, with the reasons why Beijing's better than Shanghai, number one, just because. Number two, because the emperor lives there, which I guess are two different reasons. But go ahead. Come on. Number three. Give me
number
one.
Three is our Mandarin is the standard language for Chinese people.
All right.
Mandarin Dream.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe tomorrow there's going to be a Cantonese nightmare podcast, but that has nothing to do with me.
Cantonese nightmare, huh? That's hilarious. Yeah. So let me ask you another look, do you think that there's like a reasons 4 or 5 that you could come up with that might be a little more like, you know, I'll give you the language if that's like one. I mean, the other two are fun, but like, give me like reasons like when you walk around, like what's the difference? What's like because those were reasons why better. I think we started with like why are they different? Like, so what are the big differences?
There's if we talk about that difference, there's no difference. We're all people.
Okay.
I don't know
So
if that.
So it's all fairly superficial.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
But,
just all
hold on, let me
getting
ask,
dirty
but-
in the dirty world.
But let me ask, you'd get dropped down. You get dropped down in Shanghai. How quickly until you know you're in Shanghai and not Beijing? Like right away?
Right away.
Just by looking at the streets, just by the signs, everything.
Which I
Because
think
they don't speak Mandarin in Shanghai, right? It's
if you speak Mandarin, they're like, yuck.
Okay.
I don't know why.
What do they speak in Shanghai?
Shanghainese. They have
Shanghainese.
their own accent, like dialect, their own accent.
Okay, so
Or not accent, their own dialect. I don't understand it.
you don't understand it, huh?
On my father's side, my grandpa is from Shanghai. My grandma is from, I think, Suzhou, which is like maybe an hour outside of Shanghai.
But you guys don't talk about them much, do you?
No, because they're all dead from COVID.
Really?
No.
Oh,
That was a joke. No.
I thought so. But I thought maybe we were going to get some like, revelation here. All right, so let me ask, okay, so other than that, it's China, happy. Now let's get to the question of, well, let's real quick before we get to if you were emperor of China, what would you do? Let me ask
I will take over the world.
Well, let's get there in a second. All right. Let me ask you this. Mainland and Hong Kong. How much different? And I know there's going to be I know there's we say the obvious, not the obvious ones, but the obvious ones. The difference, but the difference between Beijing and Shanghai, and the difference between Beijing and Hong Kong. How much are they like? Is Beijing and Shanghai pretty much the same thing compared to Hong Kong? Or are they all three separate, or are they all three the same? What are the differences? Who's closest? Who's different? Where's the...
On one level, it's just all
the same.
The same property, names. Right?
Yeah.
And then another level...
And the Chinese people? I mean, is that,
It's all people. It's all
people.
I call us Chinese. And then my people just call us Chinese.
And what about Hong Kong? What do you call Hong Kong? Chinese.
We call Chinese, but in Chinese we call 香港人, which 香港 is Hong Kong, 人 is people.
Yep.
Which our language, if you translate verbatim, is Hong Kong people.
It's like New Yorker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how much of Hong Kong's way of doing things do you think that there's any how many people do you think like in mainland China, and again, maybe too broad of a question, but like what do you like about Hong Kong? Like what do you like about what Hong Kong is that makes it different? Like what about the difference?
Can I be honest with you? I'm going to be very honest with you. Like what I love about Hong Kong is the people. It's us.
Yeah.
It's my people. That's what I love about Hong Kong.
Right.
Because I remember when I graduated from college 2004, we're doing I got into travel business. Like I was the Beijing guy, like Beijing is the best. New York, Beijing, fuck you. Making that noise. I was making that noise.
I believe you.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to ever get out of Beijing. Beijing is the fucking best. Fuck you, fuck you. Like it's that mentality. Until I work at a travel agency. The very first city that I visited outside of Beijing is Hong Kong. I didn't know what to expect, because they look just like me, like this. Maybe not as shiny head with light, but they talk. I don't understand. And then they only talk to each other in Cantonese, which is to me it's a form of
dissent.
What does dissent mean? Can you
it's a way to separate. It's like a formal way of separation, like to separate from, like to stand out, to dissent.
Yeah, you can do that, but if you're doing that in front of my face, not only that's dissent, like there's a little like rudeness in there, isn't it?
If they're speaking Cantonese in front of you, do they know how to speak Mandarin generally?
They do.
Okay, most people in Hong Kong speak Mandarin as well. No.
In Hong Kong is a little special.
So when you say speak in front of you, if they speak Cantonese in front of you, you mean like what else can they talk? You know what I mean? I guess that was my question. What should they do?
It's like you, me, and Ryan. Okay? Me and Ryan speak Cantonese. Me, Ryan, you all speak Mandarin. But we three of us are in the conversation.
Gotcha. So
I only speak Cantonese to Ryan.
Right.
You're gonna be like,
yeah. Right.
I'm leaving.
So people in Hong Kong do understand Mandarin.
Yeah.
More than you understand Cantonese.
Yep.
Generally. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah.
Because Mandarin is the what you call it, the
official language.
The official, required, like the standard Chinese.
Yep.
I used to get out of Beijing to do business trips, and just the way that I speak Chinese, whatever. 各位观众大家好，欢迎大家来到橘子梦的第65集。今天我们的主持人嘉宾是冯超。What I just said, like, welcome to the Mandarin Dream, episode 65. I'm your host, Feng Chao. It's just like, if I say, I know it sounds, it's a different sound than usually what you hear, because what that noise usually you hear is English. Right? But if I say that, just that tone itself, it's natural, I can switch it. The Chinese ladies, for some reason, love the way I sound my Beijing accent. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah? So you got a good accent. So you're like, so what is
I'm
that?
The emperor with the correct accent.
There you go. So this is, well, you know, maybe one day you'll be elected emperor.
Okay.
So generally you liked Hong Kong.
Generally, when I went there a couple of times, like I was taking the tour, earlier impression, they looked down on us, on the mainland Chinese people.
Yeah,
at least I've when I was growing up, they're too British, breakfast tea-ish about Chinese mainland love. To be honest, I understand, Andrew. Like Hong Kong, these two words are heavy. It's like, think twice before you bark or meow meow about this. But I'm Chinese. I can be real. They look down on us. They kind of don't like us.
Do you think it's like it's kind of do you think it's a resentment of I don't know, unbridled support for, you know,
I don't
the Communist
understand
Party? Do you think
unbridled support. I don't know what
okay, so just strong support, just strong support. Like
not
consistent.
I think it's the British. What do I know? I think it's the little
Oh, yeah.
it's that part because Hong Kong was ruled by them for like I think
Yeah.
at least 100 years.
Yeah. So do you think that it's, put it this way, if Hong Kong, if the leaders of Hong Kong, the people, of Hong Kong, if the strongest minds of Hong Kong decided or were able to run mainland China, if they were to run it the way they wanted, which would be never happen, obviously, the biggest things that they would do, obviously, would completely, like if they had their way, they would completely change the face of China, and not everything, but like government, for example, right? It'd be more democratic.
Sure.
Right. Is that a bad thing? And I'm not leading you. I'm not saying, oh, well, obviously that's the good thing. I'm not trying to lead you down that way. I'm curious, like, is that a bad thing?
No.
No.
I say no.
Yeah. Well, you've always been very independent of any group. Obviously, we've talked about this. And like there's you have gone on record saying that if the government said stop telling jokes or we're going to kill your mother, you said have at it, because Feng Chao is Feng Chao and I'm going to keep being Feng Chao.
Yes. Yes.
And that's really the whole point of this show.
Yeah. Yes.
Completely subvert expectations.
Yes.
Don't expect anything from Feng Chao based on what you think about Feng Chao, other than how Feng Chao has defined himself.
Yes.
On his own.
Yes.
And if nobody even asked you a question and somebody told your story alone as an act to go in a different direction than all your friends, go in a different direction than your whole culture, everybody around you, and to learn comedy in another language, that on its own, even without 63 episodes or whatnot before this.
I'm not good with numbers, but it's 65. Actually, yes.
60 and change, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about, Feng Chao. And everybody can be their own Feng Chao.
You are welcome, everybody.
I was trying to make it seem so that like people listening could maybe feel like, yeah, I can do that. He's not just saying it's just all about him. He's also saying that I can do that. And then you scoffed. You said, fine, you can all be your own self too. And then you brought it right back to Feng Chao, which is, I don't know, man. There's nothing communist about that.
That's so funny. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. You are the individual.
I'm just Feng Chao.
You're the individual.
Yeah.
You're a man on your island. Not Hong Kong. Not Hong Kong, but another island, his own island.
Yeah. A little bit lenient towards wherever the direction is.
Yeah.
But that's, Feng Chao being Feng Chao. We would love to be an emperor, and I think it's in my blood. It's in my DNA. And
it's in your blood to be an emperor.
Yeah.
To tell people what to do.
Love it. You enjoy it so much. Yelling. Wake up. It's time. Wake up. Wake up. Everybody wake up. Let's go. Wake up. This is time. The time is right now. Who am I? I'm Emperor Feng Chao. Wake up. Let's go. I'm helping you. Wake up.
Yeah.
What's the hold up? Wake up. Open your eyes. There's lights. I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy to help everybody.
When you say that though, China, everyone.
Everyone. I speak English, Chinese. I speak devil, and everything. Everyone. Come on. It's love to win over everything. That's it. Love. If anything ends on love, nobody can argue with it.
Well, unless you love to murder.
Well, in that way, well, your country has unlimited guns and bullets. Get rid of that guy. Right? I don't know. Do we give him a second chance? I say no. Right? I don't. It just. Yeah. We all should be happy and grateful to live in this country. It's really fucked up right now. I understand, but Andrew, I don't lie to you. Every morning I wake up, I say thank you, America.
Yeah. No. Every day I'm like, thank God, got a place to live and food and free speech for the most part. But
yeah. Even it's as so fucked up as it is right now. Like our life in this country is so much better than a lot of other people. Like as we are speaking, as we are being passionate about being artists in this country, in this hard city, to be an artist, it's very, very hard. Very hard. But there are some human beings not in this country, their world is significantly harder.
Yeah. There's good places around the world. There's a villa in Italy that's pretty nice right now too. But I know what you're saying. There's some bad play. Yeah, there's some places that they don't have the access to abundance that we have.
Yeah. Like it's like here. It's just we be grateful. I'm very grateful.
Let me ask, because I feel like if I was in Beijing, like I think I could feel that way though, right? I could enjoy beautiful sights and eat wonderful food and right?
You will never run out of surprises in Beijing. Every day some detail will surprise you. You're like, huh? Okay.
Yeah. I can't wait to go.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
Because you are someone that you look closely to. Like it's just anything past you're a producer. You look at things in a way. It's like things in front of your eyes. You just pick up. You just watch things that what's funny, what's whatever. You see it.
I try, but I think you're being a little too kind. But thank you.
To you, all the kindness from me, always to you, at all times.
I appreciate that. My good friend, Feng Chao, the Mandarin Dream. What do you say we wrap this one up?
My good friend, Andrew, we are going to be great.
Episode 64, 65, episode 1 of the English Mandarin Dream.
Yes.
Very good, my friend. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend.
Very good, my friend. Yes, and yes.